Hello, everyone. Welcome to Level Up SQL. Today, we'll be learning about the history of file storage in related to Microsoft SQL Server. So, in this video, this is the very first video that we'll be recording for to teach you from the beginning, like zero background. If you have zero background, to help you become highly advanced in SQL Server or a relational database management system. So mainly we'll be using Microsoft SQL Server. So welcome again. Okay, and here I'll be teaching you history of the file storage, like how the file storage starts, and then today's and modern world, how we saving the files or records or data in today's world, and what contribute that. Okay, because of the new high advanced file system, storage file system, how we advance, how the technologies advance to help us live a better life. Okay, and then we'll be look at why companies choose SQL Server over Excel. I'll be also teaching you actually the history of the file storage, and also we will talk about what is the data or electronic data. And then after that, can we will look at how can a database contribute to today's technology. What does that mean if you see in our daily life? How do we interact with database via SQL? What is SQL and its purpose? Okay, and if you know SQL Server language, SQL means structured query language. If you know SQL, what kind of job, and also you have a understanding of the file storage and database, what kind of job can you get that with that knowledge? So we will also look at that later on in this video. So first we will be looking at the history of file storage. So as you can see, I don't know how old you are, but I'm recording this in 2024. So about 10 to 20 years ago, the file, like the records would be recorded on paper and then stored in the paper, like in the yellow folder. Maybe it might have like this is much better because it has indexing than this. Okay, well, this is also has, but it's not really, this doesn't have index at all. Based on, but this is kind of considered a good file storage maybe 20 years ago, 10 years, 20 years, or 30 years ago. And then how we become, so how we, I mean, you can see this, I don't know if maybe in high school, like it's dedicated, it has a dedicated room to record the teacher's file, student's file, or in big companies also like files like this. So and then how we advance a little bit. So this picture image representing this, and then how we become from saving hard copy paper to save them electronically on our PC. So the can be the Word documents and the flat file, it can be in Excel, and also now SQL Server or other DBMS or relational database management system. Okay, so how we start from here and almost kind of paperless, and then now I think even paychecks are like becoming more digitalized than getting a paycheck. Actually, the paper paycheck. I mean, some companies still do that, but majority of, I would say, 85 to 90% of mainly in Western country are actually moving to electronic. Okay, so if it's electron, um, we can save it as an Excel, and then we can save the files, large data, can save it electronic data, right? So this was here physical data, right? Hard copy paper, and then we kind of switch it to electronic data because we save it via computer. So when it's like that, you have Excel, Microsoft Excel, and we also have Microsoft SQL Server, which is the new technology. So we want to look at, after analyzing this, we want to compare, okay, why company is choosing SQL Server than Microsoft Excel versus Microsoft SQL Server. Okay, before that, because we start talking about electronic data right after this, right? So, what is electronic data in terms of like how you see? Because every data, there are two types of data: personal data and business data. So it's here in your PC on your laptop. You can see the musics that you can store, pictures, birthday pictures, vacation, any holiday or family reunion pictures that you save, or any picture that is important to you on your desktop, documents. It can be in flat file, it can be Excel, it can be anything, and the video that you save, and the downloads that you download from anywhere. So this is on your PC. This is called personal data. Okay, what makes it different from a business data? Okay, what makes a business data from personal data? So personal data in today's world, let's say you have, um, um, let's say you purchase online, right? Because it can allow you, right? So let's say, um, um, you can go in physical, but companies is physical, like in the mall or on a store to purchase. But here is what the company is doing. So, like a relational database management system means you break down tables into specific. Okay, contains only stores information, and this table contains only product information. And then see, notice there is a link. Okay, and then there would be only a cell product, I mean a cell fact table, which has a store key that is related, okay, and also has a product key, and then the sales cost and profits, okay, like how much sells, and then what cost to sell that product, and then what is the profits. Okay, so you have all of this information by breaking it down, and then make sure you connect them whenever you want to see them. We can also connect these because they are slightly connected in the back where we don't see them. So we can see, and then we can see, analyze, and so much powerful. Okay. What does this means to make it easy? When you purchase online, let's say Amazon or Alibaba, the company will plug this database table to website to show you pictures, description about the product, pictures of the product, and the price of that product. And then when you purchase, they would take, so you select, I mean, sales or orders, and then you put your information, your first name, your last name, your physical address, right? And then also the card. It can be the credit card, checking card, any card that you would be buying. So the company, the who sells this product, will collect money from you. So, and that would be stored in different table. So customer information will be in customers, product, and then product information will be in the product, and then of course they will be connected like this. I will be teaching you in the future. Okay, so because of so much powerful companies actually uh, saving like this and becomes so powerful. So I will teach you later. I'm sorry to be deviate, but so what is the difference right now? The business and personal data, as you can see, this is your personal, and this is more powerful way of saving data. Okay, so now we're going to compare um, before, maybe 10 years ago, um, companies used to uh, save before this actually become popular. Companies used to use Excel to sort, and then when Excel become Microsoft SQL, both of them are a Microsoft product. So when this become so much popular, companies start slowly moving to this larger companies, and then and so we will see why um, it's become very popular. Okay, so both of them will be are used for data storage, right? Electronic data, and we can also analyze those data from each tools. Okay, Excel deals with large data set insufficiently, while SQL Server deals with large data sufficiently. Okay, what does that mean in terms of numbers? Excel can handle up to 1 million rows of data, while SQL Server can handle over billions of rows of data. Okay, so 100 times more storage SQL Server database can offer than Excel. Okay, what else? In the Excel, you can it's highly possible to make mistakes, accidental mistakes. So when you scroll down or left to the right, you can accidentally delete data. But there's no way in SQL Server, there's no way you can make accidental change in the database. In fact, you have to write a query, which SQL or structured query language, to access a database. So there's no way you're gonna actually scroll down and up and down and then accident change. You cannot do that, which I'll teach you later in the future how to access that. Okay, so and also SQL Server is a relational database management system. Just like I showed to you, you create table that is specifically, let's say, customer information table for only to hold a customer's information. Product table, just like I showed you earlier and a few minutes ago. Product table will be containing only product table, and then sales or order table only contains, and then they would be linked together so that they don't disconnect. So we call them, and we linked means we relate them by foreign key and primary key, which I'll teach you in the future. So, and then whenever we want to see them, we can join them. There's our join functions. We use them to see. So it's good to light, and it's also good to manage, organize, manage data. Okay, SQL Server can connect to um, internet by allowing millions of users access to them at the same time. So, which you will see in the later slides. Database can interact. Okay, database can interact with the other programming language such as Python, Ruby, Java, JSON. So, and then other modern language, allowing you to execute many more powerful tasks and queries with your data. That's why, because of my SQL or database can interact with this modern language and more, you can connect them to the internet. Okay, which you will see that in the future. So, um, so because of that, right? Because millions of can access, because database can connect to internet and also get to work with modern language, which Python, Java, just like I described you earlier. This contributes to modern technology, um, which people people can access to purchase or to access a certain website at the same time. So for some of the examples are online activities, right? Such as purchasing plane tickets, right? Let's say I want to buy Ethiopian airline to move or to go to Africa to visit Ethiopia, right? Or Africa. So, and millions of over 6 million over a year actually can usually purchase Ethiopian airline tickets. So, purchasing airline tickets at the same time, right? Because the DBMS database is allowing you. If you purchase, like I talked about it earlier, if you want to purchase like online, for example, can be an Amazon, Alibaba, and other websites. So companies actually this can be pulled from database, okay, and then plug into internet with by collaborating with modern language, Java, Python, JSON, right? Because of that, companies able to post pictures, description, and then their price um, for on website for you to select and look and select and to purchase, right? And then once you purchase, they can be able to charge you for it and then send it to you. What about filling applications? It can be the job application, it can be health, say, setting up an appointment to visit your doctor or setting up an appointment to purchase anything, to buy a house, or to anything. Okay, so because of this, our technology, we live in a so much modern world because of database, right? Database is allowing us to store and access at the same time. Okay, so if we say there's no way we cannot make a mistake, data, but we don't accidentally delete a data. This is how, because of the SQL, right? So in order to access the SQL database, we have to know SQL or structure query language. This is structure query language, as you can see, this is a database table, okay? And this is the language, okay? So you have to know the language to write, either to insert a new value or to update the existing value or to delete any value. You have to write like this, okay? So you have to speak its language to tell it to access. Let's say the database will be here. I'll um, which you'll see it in the future, but as in right now, I want you to make sure you have a better understanding, okay? So let's say you have the DB, okay, is right here, okay? So this would be DB, okay? So database, in order to access the table would be inside and here, okay? Okay, you have, because table is databases object. So in order to access or to see this, you have to write a query. So here, and then the query engine actually go here and allow you. So if you want to see, that means select, right? And then the query engine would bring you here. Okay, because of this, there's no way you make a mistake unless if you want to on purpose, right? You cannot accidentally make mistakes because of this, right? So how do you know? So the main and the toughest task will be understanding the SQL language, okay? So here, okay, SQL language, right? SQL is a computer language that we use to interact with a relational database management system. Okay, SQL is a tool for organizing, managing, and retrieving archived data from a computer database, right? So this will help us if we want to see, yes, if we want to insert new value, yes, if you want to anything, right? You'll see in the future how you can organize, how you can manage, and how you can retrieve, which you just see select means like show me. Okay, so you will see in the future. So I will teach you in advance. But for now, For now, understanding SQL commands. Okay, how do we know? Um, um, let's see. Okay, so how do we know um, how to become a good at speaking SQL, right? Not, yeah, speaking mainly you writing code, right? It's a programming language, okay? So imagine for English, in order to speak English, you have to know the ABCD alphabets first, right? Letters. And then also you have to understand past tense, right? Object, verb, subject, okay, and also past, future, present, maybe a little complex, right? So pretty much this is a language, we say language, right? So we have to, in order to interact with the query engine to access the database, okay, here we have to know, we have to let it know, we have to learn its language so that we can tell the query engine whatever we want, either to organize it or to manage it or to retrieve it. Okay, so these are 5 commands for now. Okay, so break it down into 5. So for example, a DDL. DDL means data definition language. Data definition language. When you create something, okay, which you'll be learning, for example, create database, right? Database, and it will create. The query engine knows what to create. When we drop means remove, okay, remove. Alter means modify to the object, okay. And truncates, it means this is kind of controversial. Sometimes they put it in a DML, and sometimes they put it into, but I would say put it in a DML because a bit it's a bit confusion. But if you put it in here, that's fine, as long as it's no you know what is its function, how, what does it do. Okay, and truncate means just take out everything out of like the data, remove, delete everything out of here, remove everything. Rename, when if you rename the database, if you rename database objects like tables, which you will learn now in the future. If you I'll teach you that in the future. DML, data manipulation language. Data manipulation language means like only interact with the data. It has nothing to do with the database objects like tables. So when you insert data, when you update data, okay, and when you delete data. So this calls DML, data manipulation language. DCL, or data control language. So this is when you give access or remove access to the database or database objects. Okay, so that's grant, like when you assign username and password for them, or revoke when the new employee actually no longer working, so you want to, or you don't want them access to that database and database objects, so you can revoke that. Okay, most of the time it's administrator, DBAs do that. TCL, transaction control language. There will be commits, rollback, and save. This is when if you see like hackers or access to the database, the data in the database, or could they call it SQL injection, right? Which is pretty much just the hackers. So when they access, unauthorized people access, or anything, any possible glitch or something breach happen, so you want to either like commit or roll back, or say when you back up files to different from one database to another database, or when you roll back where it starts, or save points, you will learn this in the future. This a bit complex unless if you are advanced in the future, so you will learn that. DQL, data query language, is select, show me. So to retrieve, to here, to see, show me on here means select. As you can see, select top 3. I want to see, teach me, show me. the top three ሶስት ሮ አሳየኝ እንደማለት ነው። እንደዛ አድርገው ያሳያል። Okay, so you can see like that. So we'll be teaching coming videos will be more learning using language to interact with database. Okay, so DBMS, right? So managing this between us writing and the query engine accessing, this calls a database management system, right? The process. Okay. All right. So what kind of job, if you know the um, file storage system, right? It's mainly database. If you understand the database and database objects in SQL, which SQL, the structure query language, what kind of job do you think you will get? Well, not you think, but this is the job that you will be getting. Okay, business analyst or data analyst. You can be business analyst and data analyst, especially if you have both the Excel, Microsoft Excel language, and database or SQL query language. Okay, and you can be data scientist by adding just R, Python. If you add R and Python, a little bit of Excel, you can have actually a good job on data scientist. Um, but mainly, if you know this, data engineer. So I want to teach you more become of data engineer. Okay, it's pretty much so and this is more strict what I will be teaching you in the future, like recording videos and release to here. Okay, SQL developer. Okay, data engineer can be SQL developer, which you know SQL structure query language, and you also know database. So this will help you how to design for them. Data warehouse, if you understand the table, how they break down each, and then they link each. They link each other. They related them. So if you have the foreign key, primary and foreign key relationship, and then the data warehouse concept, so you will become data warehouse developer. Okay, ETL developer. So to understand Microsoft SQL Server integration service, you have to understand the query. Okay, SQL developer. This become after this. This was developed. Microsoft developed SQL Server integration service after developing SQL Server. So adding knowledge, which I'll be recording this video for you to once you learn. So having knowing this, you can actually become ETL developer if you know SSIS, which is the on-premise, and nowadays Azure Cloud, which also your Microsoft product. You can become a super advanced. Like if you know this and the concept is so much similar, you can easily become Azure developer if you have a knowledge of SSIS. And then SSRS, SQL Server reporting tool. So pretty much like if you know Excel, you driving like and then making a visual data like pie, paragraphs and stuff using developer using the Excel, you can easily know how to do this. Which I'll also teach you this in the future video. So to know this, you have to know SQL. Okay, you have to know SQL. Understand it because you write a lot of this connects to database, SQL Server database. So you have to know the queries, what kind of information that you want, and then you add a few its own language or the language that is actually in SSRS to become reporting. Or you can have, so actually a data engineer should have all of these. And if you have all of these knowledge, actually you can make a pretty good money. So you can do so many things. Actually, SSIS has its own modern language, like the language you use in Python, in other modern language. SSRS also has like JSON language related to JSON and Python language. So make sure you have that. And you become a database administrator. you can become a database administrator. Okay, so which mainly you'll be like doing TCL, transaction control language, like granting access, revoking, and also you do DCL, data control language, which is also you, which means like backing up, backup files, restore files, right? So you can do all of that. Quality assurance tester and researcher or educator. You can be one, two, three, four, five, six. Even on the third, you can also become, 10 possible job will land you, or you can possibly find a job in these 10 areas if you have that knowledge. All right, for this video, this is it. So hopefully you learned something, something fruitful. And thank you so much for your time.